Hi, I'm Nikki from Nikki's Bookkeeping, and I'm here to show you how to set up your new QuickBooks Online company for invoicing. Before we begin, you will notice that my version of QuickBooks Online is green and has an additional part on the top left-hand corner. This is just for demonstration purposes and is the accountant version and not the regular version. I have been involved in many cleanup jobs for companies who started using QuickBooks Online but didn't know how to use it. I think it's very important that we learn how to set up the company properly before we even start adding in our first invoice. And to do that, we should be setting up our chart of accounts. Under the gear or the flower, you will find the chart of accounts here. Now, the chart of accounts are all the accounts that any transaction will flow through to. This is what we see when we start a new QuickBooks Online account. They have added some accounts here, but we need to add in our first one so that we can invoice. Okay, so I would like to illustrate the two different types of income that we have, generally speaking. First, we would be offering a service, and second, we would be offering a product that we are selling. So let's create a new account here on the top right-hand corner, and let's create a service account because that is the easiest. So let's choose the income type as service fees. Not only is the account type important, but the detail type is important. Your invoices will flow through to the income part of the chart of accounts. Okay, so let's set up some income accounts. On the top right-hand corner, press New, and let's add in an income account, sales of product income, and raspberries because I love that so much. So let's set up another one. There's different types as you can see here, and we'll label this one as pierogies because I also love pierogies. So let's sell those two things. So as you can see here, there are three types that I've set up: services, raspberries, and pierogies. Now let's say that you made a mistake or you want to edit one of these accounts. Go to the right and click Edit here. And I'm going to change this one to bookkeeping services. So I'm selling all sorts of things here, products and services. So now that we've added in our income accounts, we need to link our products and services through to these income accounts. So to access the products and services, go to the top right-hand corner, gear or flower, and choose products and services. The general accounts that are created for QuickBooks Online are hours and services, but I don't ever usually use those. So let's create a new product and service to flow through to the chart of accounts that we created. Now, it's best to use non-inventory or service because if we use inventory for the product and service, we may run into trouble because if you don't understand bookkeeping or accounting yet and then you go into inventory, you may find that you will make some mistakes. So let's choose this as non-inventory. Okay, so let's create our first product, raspberries. And here you can add in a photo of your product and service. So here it is. That photo will show up on the invoice. So it looks pretty professional. You can add in a SKU, you can add in a category to organize your products and services. So I'll just divide it by products here, which you'll see in a second. Here you can put a description of what you're selling. Now this is a template, and So this is what will automatically pop up when you choose Raspberries for your invoice. Because this is a template, you can choose any sales rate that you want, and if you want to change the rate for different clients, you absolutely can. Usually you're going to put the rate in as the MSRP so that this is the regular rate that pops up when you choose the product and service. The income account is very important, and that is why we created it first in the chart of accounts. So make sure you choose the correct income account. Now, below the income account that we have programmed, we can also use the same product and service for purchasing. By selecting the purchasing information, you can use the same product and service to enter in your bills that you owe your suppliers. But that will be covered in another video. And make sure you press Save and Close on the bottom right-hand corner. So as you can see, you have created your first product with this nice little picture for raspberries. All right, so let's create another product and service for our pierogies that we created earlier. And I'm going to choose the category as products to match raspberries. And I'm going to put in the sales description here that will pop up on our template. And I'm going to put our sales price here. Remember, you can always change that depending on which client you want to sell to. And don't forget to put in that income account that we created earlier, and why not add in a nice little photo here too. And let's save and close. Now, because I chose the product as the category, you can see here that the products that I created are under the header for products. Now that we've created the chart of account and our product and service, the next step will be to add in your customer information. To access that, go to Sales on the left-hand side, and you can see these tabs on the top here. Please choose Customer. To create our first customer, let's choose New Customer on the top right-hand corner, and the customer information area will come up. As you see here, there's only one red star that is mandatory, and that is the display name as. Of course, you can fill in as much information as you want, like the billing address and the email. And for demonstration purposes, I am going to put in my email so that we can take a look at what the invoice that you're sending out will look like. You can also add in some other types of information here, as you can see on the tabs. And press Save and Close. Here we can see the information that we put in, and you can put in notes here too. Okay, so let's create our first invoice. On the top right-hand corner, let's press the New Transaction button. I'm going to choose the customer that we set up here on the top left-hand corner. Because we automatically programmed in the email address for the customer, that pops up, and you see here we have different payment types. In another video, we will take a look at how to connect your bank account so that you can receive payments from your customers. The current rate that QuickBooks is charging for receiving payments into your bank account like this is 2.9% plus 25 cents per transaction. The customers will see a Pay Now button on the invoice that they receive. We will take a look at that when we look at the email that we receive. You can choose different types of terms here. You can program in a new one. And you can see the address was automatically populated based on what we pre-programmed. So here's where our products and services come into play. The products and services that we programmed in automatically pop up with the information that we had pre-programmed. And at this time, you can absolutely change the quantity or the rate so that it is the way that you want to see it. And then let's press save. Now that the invoice is how we like it, let's press this other button on the bottom right-hand corner to save and send. At this point, you will see a template that comes up that you can program into another section under the company settings, which will be in the next video. Here you can just take a look at the PDF that will be attached to the email. You can also change the template of what is being sent in the body of the email. So let's take a look at what the invoice looks like in the email. Okay, I'm just going to log into my email and see what it looks like here. Here's a subject line that has the invoice number, and below this, the body of the email that we chose. And if you press the View the Invoice button, the PDF that we created for the invoice will show up for the customer. Once the bank account is connected, there will be a green Pay Now button on the top right-hand corner that the customer can press and then put in their credit card so that you can get paid faster. On the top right-hand corner, there is a print button and a save to PDF button for the customer's convenience. And now we've come to the end of our first video in the series on how to set up our QuickBooks Online. I hope that you enjoy the rest of the videos in this series.